The Cougar FV270 has been sitting here at the studio for about 2 months. Now the deal with this case was it was launching on the first day of Computex, and to be honest, there are some videos that came out a little bit earlier than anticipated. Some broke the embargo by about 2 weeks, and I was a little bit bummed out about it. But the longer it sat here, the more I wanted to share this with you guys, because I think the FV270 is one of the most interesting cases that we've seen in a while, and I couldn't hold out on you guys for any longer. So let's do a case review thing.
This video is brought to you by VIPSCDKey.com. Have you ever installed Windows 11 only to see the watermark of death? You don't need to fork out a couple of $100s for a key. You can grab one from today's video sponsor, from VIPSCDKey.com for 1/10 of the price. You can use our code GEAR to get 30% off for this month only. How good is that? That takes that already cheap Windows 11 key and makes it even cheaper. It's easy as placing your order. Bingo bango. You've got your new key on your orders page. You chuck that key into the activation screen and you're good to go. No more watermark of death. Use code GEAR to get 30% off for this month only. Link in the description. On with the video. Back to you, Nick.
All right, let's start off with panel removal. To remove the side panel in the FV270, there's a little notch on this back panel here. You want to pull that towards you. Be careful, these panels are quite droppy, and you want to lift that away from the case. Next, you want to remove the rear panel. Same deal, there's a notch on the rear panel here. You pull that and then lift that away from the case. To remove the front panel, you want to be very, very careful. Essentially, the idea is you want to tilt it kind of away from the case. Put your thumb in this corner here, push, and then you can lift that curved glass panel away from the case. Now you want to remove this curved rear panel. Basically, same deal, you just kind of push it away from the top of the case and then lift it. Lastly, you want to remove the top of the case, and I would recommend lifting it from each corner here, and you can kind of push it and then lift that top panel away from the case. As for storage and hard disk support, it supports up to 4 drives in total, 2 2.5-inch drives down the bottom. You can do 2 more 2.5-inch drives up here. As well as that, you can do 2 3.5-inch drives. Here's a really nice bit of attention to detail that I noticed with the FV270. These screws are spring-loaded, and that's kind of the case with all of these. So when you loosen them up, look at it. Spring-loaded. Both of the brackets for storage are removable as well. The bottom one also has one of those spring-loaded screws, and you can just kind of lift that away. While we're down the bottom, the FV270 supports PSUs up to a length of 250 millimeters, and I don't think there's many power supplies out of that length. It's time for everybody's favorite test, the flex test. Now, if we put a bit of force on the FV270, you can see that there is quite a bit of chassis flex, but to be honest, you're not really going to be doing this, and this really isn't that bad compared to other cases like the 6500X and 6500D from Corsair. So I would say that this is more than adequate. Not only that, the rigidity of that curved glass panel is insane. So it has more than enough support with that curved glass panel. There's a single pre-installed fan in the front of the case, and it uses that for intake. That's why the whole case is kind of tilted back on an angle, gives it extra room to be able to pull air in from the front. Now, this whole front fan assembly is removable. The way you'd want to do this is you would remove this screw here. Again, another spring-loaded screw. There's another little metal bracket, and when we pull this panel away, you'll notice I've already pre-popped it, but you can push in on this little dimple and you can lift this away from the case. And here's what's really interesting. It uses some pogo pins and some contact pads to allow you to power the fan and for lighting, which means you're not limited to just this fan for this case. You can change this to anything you like. Standard PWM, standard 3-pin addressable RGB. But what's even cooler than having a fan as intake is this. This is the optional illuminated rotating platform. So if you have a figurine, you can put it in the case and have it rotating all of the time. That's very, very different and very, very cool. And you can already guess what we'll be doing with our build in this case. Not using that. Cooling support in the FV270 is quite extensive. On this side mount here, you can do two 140mm fans, or you can do two 120mm fans, or up to a 280mm radiator. Up top, you can do either a 360mm radiator or a 280mm radiator, as well as three 120mm fans or two 140mm fans, and so forth. On this bottom removable bracket, you can do two 140mm fans, two 120mm fans, or up to a 240mm radiator. And finally, on the rear, you can do either a 120mm fan or a 140mm fan. For motherboard support, the FV270 supports motherboards from ITX up to EATX. Now, it doesn't look like EATX from the jump, but this panel on the right-hand side of the motherboard tray is removable with a couple screws. I'm not going to be removing it in this video because I'm not going to be building with that kind of motherboard, but in case you wanted to know, you can do that. It also supports Project Zero motherboards, Project Stealth motherboards, and BTF motherboards with the cutouts for MATX boards as well, which, if I'm being honest, is something that we're not seeing as much of with these BTF motherboards. So it is nice that Cougar has included cutouts for that. For air cooling support, you've got a maximum supported height for air coolers of 180mm. For GPU support, the FV270 supports a maximum GPU length of up to 420mm. Now, if you're wanting to vertically mount in the FV270, that changes to 450mm. And that is really dependent on whether or not you're using that EATX bracket that basically just covers up where all the cables run on the right-hand side of the motherboard tray. Not only that, you've probably noticed already, the FV270 also comes with a GPU support bracket. And the GPU support bracket is fully adjustable. To adjust the bracket, you loosen the screw underneath the bracket, and then it'll allow you to push it up and down. So you can adjust that basically at any height that you see fit. And alternatively, you can remove the bracket completely as well. For front panel wiring, we've got a 3-pin 5V addressable RGB cable. We've got the connector for the front panel USB Type A. There's a front panel audio header. There's the block for all the lights and all the switches to let you know your system's up and running and to turn it on. There's also a fan cable for that pre-installed front fan and a USB Type-C front panel connector. On the front panel, or rather the top panel itself, we've got two USB Type A ports, a USB Type-C port, a headphone and microphone jack, a reset button, and a power button with a combined power LED with that little dot in the center. There's a lot of dust filters in the FV270. There's one at the front for this intake, and you basically can just pull that down and let it slide away from the case. Not quite like that though. There's magnetic dust filters on both of the rear panels. There's a magnetic filter on the top of the case as well, and that can just be removed by lifting it away. And there's another dust filter on the bottom of the case that can be slid out for the power supply. That's everything I think you need to know about the Cougar FV270, but let's do our usual thing. Let's do a build, we'll test the thermals, and I'll let you guys know if I think that this case is worth your hard-earned money.
it, drop it like that.
All right, let's take a look at the thermals of the FV270. What we're seeing on your screen right now is the thermals are quite good with this case. Be aware though, this is the 7800X3D. The CPU typically does not get very hot. On top of that, we've got a 360mm liquid cooler and 8 fans in a case. So you do the math here, ladies and gents. The thermals are quite excellent, but your mileage may vary. Simple as that. I think that Cougar's done a fantastic job with the layout and the design for thermals in this case. If you're interested in any of the hardware used in this build, there's a PC part picker list down below in the description. As well as that, there's little cards that float around that show what all the hardware is through that part of the build. But let's talk about the FV270. Now, I hate to say it, but after building with this case, there's a lot of things to like about it. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but this case is really freaking good. First of all, that curved glass on the front is gorgeous in person. Although not always the most practical thing, it really does look good. But for me, the standout feature with the FV270 isn't anything to do with the case design. It's that optional rotating platform at the front of the case for a figurine. I hate that I like that so much. Now, if I'm being honest, I'd planned to do something like this from the jump. When I said that the embargo got broken, so I was kind of bummed out, it gave me a good opportunity to find a nice figurine. I actually picked this one up at Don Donki in Taiwan. This place is crazy, right? Look at this. Why is this a real place? Seriously, look at this place. Dun, 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 donkey. And when I was looking for stuff to use on that platform, I was like, I want something transparent and something that light will kind of go through to look really cool. And it turns out it was a puzzle, and Claire was solving that as a puzzle for like an hour or two, but it turned out really, really good. I'll be honest with you guys, I really tried to find something I didn't like about the FV270, but unfortunately, Cougar's done a bloody good job on this case, and I gotta take my hat off to them. This is a really, really nice case, and one of the nicest cases that I've seen in a long time. And this is a thing with Cougar, right? At Computex, the reason why we didn't cover any of their cases is I walked past the booth, I had a look, and they just didn't have anything interesting. I knew that we had their most interesting thing already sitting at home, and it gives me a better opportunity to show you guys what the deal is with this case when it's here in the studio. Show floors are fun, but showing you what a case is really capable of is more exciting and more interesting for me to do at home. And this case, strangely enough, has reignited my passion for cases because it is just built so freaking well. Good job, Cougar. You guys absolutely nailed it. Typically not a case design I like, but I don't know, there's just something about it. If you're interested in the Cougar FV270, you're looking at spending around about 149 US dollars, around about 229 Aussie dollars. Now, as far as these fish tanky kind of cases go, this is kind of in the middle of the price range, but you're getting a lot of case for that money. The build quality of this case is better than almost anything else out there at the moment, and that is saying a lot. It is really a good case. I really did try to find stuff I didn't like about it, but there's nothing. I think it's good. I enjoyed building with it, and I think you guys are gonna like it too. And if you like the music you heard here, it's me. I make all the music. You can get it by listening to the person telling you how to get it. Click the join button down below. I'm going to be making some new music for the channel soon. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on lately around here. We've been changing things slightly. We've been working on other projects in the background. We've got a lot of different content coming that we've been working on and piecing together, which is why we haven't been uploading as much. But maybe you don't care. Maybe this is the first time you're seeing the channel. But whatever. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek, and I'm out of here. Today, Claire, is our 9th wedding anniversary. 9 years married to Claire. That's pretty crazy.
Well, wait.
Some people don't even go like 2 years. And here we are, 9 years. Next year, 10 years. What are we doing for 10 years? What did we say?
Party.
Where are we going? We're going to go somewhere fun. Right? We're going to go to South Africa. Or where are we going to go? We're going to go to Europe next year for our 10th anniversary. Yeah, that'll be fun. Catch you guys later. Hope you guys like the new lighting. Peace out.